Now, ask yourself, why are we cool or accepting of this behavior? It's because of the fact that at the time, being an attention whore, being someone on the side, whatever, brings us some type of benefit, even if it's a benefit that will affect us negatively down the line. We feel it's a benefit for us for whatever reason. And we wonder why other people and other species and other races of people think that humanity is savage. Okay, because we will literally choose to hurt someone else in the process to benefit from our own selfish needs. Okay, I do understand also that people are not happy and they wish to seek outside their relationships. Okay, if that's the fact, you're not happy, leave. Because if you don't, that complicates everything else. Because if you get caught cheating, you paying up. So go ahead, leave the person, get out of the relationship, separate for a while, and think about whether you really choose to continue a life of unhappiness. Okay? For a lot of us, marriage is slavery. Marriage is servitude. For some men, it's servitude, especially because of the fact there's some men that will go against right just to make sure that she's happy and she's not bitching before y'all go to sleep. It's terrible. However, that's the reality of things. And until we have balanced, harmonious relationships that have open and honest communication and trust and union, this will continue to happen. And another thing that also manifested as a so-called requirement for not having either balanced, harmonious relationships or just not getting sex at all, porn industry. I'm sure some of you are like, damn, when are you going to start talking about the porn? Okay, there I'm on the porn. Now remember I told you, or I said before, in ancient times, porn, prostitute, and whore was pretty much synonymous depending on where you went. And some places, that was the healer. In ancient times, or even now too, for a person to go a certain length of time without having balanced, harmonious sex, some individuals will turn to rape, bestiality, all types of corrupt forms of sexual pleasure to get it because they couldn't get it under the so-called regular or normal means, whatever normal means. So it would manifest in these outlandish, some so-called immoral things. Okay? One of the things that manifested as a result of this is porn, or the porn industry. There are lots of individuals that get off at seeing other people get off. Because it gives them a chance to probably masturbate and do whatever as they're watching the other people get their rocks off. Now, there are some people, and I have my own opinions too, there are some people who think that porn is the most dangerous thing that could have happened, or the most inharmonious thing that could have happened showing relationships. I say yes and no. Because there are porn or porn movies that actually have a plot and actually involve scenes where two individuals are love making. However, nobody wants that. In this fast-paced society, people just want to get their rocks off and don't wish to deal with any consequences afterwards. So this mainstream porn is what most people flock to. Okay? Now, why is that? What allows, let's say for example, what allows a man to wish to spend $40, $50, $60 a week going to buy porn movies? or going somewhere or renting porn movies. Why is this? Of course, we know there's a lack of spiritual union or physical union with a woman. However, I'm going to let you in on something. This is on a very metaphysical level, a mental level. See, when most men see a porn star, an actress, especially a porn actress that just sets you off, she's attractive, beautiful, she knows her body, blah, 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 blah. What we're seeing is a goddess, or the female version of a god that's uninhibited, that's not afraid of expressing who she is. She's not afraid of showing who she is, okay? It's just done on a movie, but here's what we're seeing, and subconsciously we don't even realize it. A lot of men fantasize more about porn stars than they do their own wives, and their wives can look like Beyonce. Their wives can look like Alicia Keys. Their wives can look like whatever beautiful woman out there. However, in their sexual relationship, they're not exploring. And one of the purposes of a harmonious relationship is to explore each other. Because to explore each other is to explore nature, or to explore God, to explore the creation. And they're not getting this. So when they see a sister, for example, like Pinky on camera, who is able to not only have your basic female orgasm, she's able to do the feminine ejaculation. She is able to bring pleasure to men and women. You ever seen the faces on these guys and women after they're through with her? After they finish the scene? They're in pure bliss. So you mean to tell me that the only way somebody gonna be in pure bliss is if they doing porn style, or looking at porn, or dealing in porn, rather than our own harmonious relationships that's supposed to reflect the volume powers of creation and God itself? Think about it. Just really think about that for a second. So what a lot of men are thinking is that their women, or the sisters they're involved with, are allowing themselves to be inhibited. They're not opening up. They've either probably had some horrific things happen to them when they were younger. They could have been molested. They could have been raped. Both. They could have had one bad sexual experience that wasn't necessarily rape, but it was so bad to the point this allows her not to explore herself anymore and open herself up to you. There's plenty of things that happens with this. And from the perspective too, because I've met a lot of women, specifically a lot of women who you would call quote unquote bisexual, or women who've had bisexual experiences. These women in ways are a little bit more open-minded, more open not only to sex, but a lot of more of different sciences. And it's like almost saying like, dang, in order for a woman to be balanced, she got to be bisexual. I'm not saying that. However, that's how some people think. I've even wondered that from time to time, I'll be honest. Because the women that I've had any type of relationship, whether sexual or otherwise, who were bisexual or so-called had experiences with women, these were the better relationships. Because it's something that they're doing that regular women are not. And it's not all about just screwing or fucking some random person, because it's not based on that. It's based on exploring your own sexuality. If you know yourself, you know what it takes to please you. Okay? So, the porn star is thrown into this because of the fact this is what a lot of people fantasize. And to me, there's nothing wrong with seeing a very beautiful woman naked, especially if she's voluptuous, attractive, and she exhibits all the geometry of nature. I have no issue with that. However, here's where we get tripped up, and I'll explain that more in the next video. What's up?